In this episode of The Excursion, we race through rivers, explore uninhabited destinations, and find a way to live off the land in Savannah's historic Moon River District. And if I succeed, I'll enjoy a beautiful evening here at Cohen's Retreat, where they say art, food, and community converge. But if I fail, it's the crew that gets this beautiful night in Savannah's Moon River District. Let's get started. In our last Savannah excursion, we explored the rich history offered along the historic squares and cobblestone streets of Georgia's oldest city. We soared with amphibian air along the Savannah River, challenged the waves, learning to surf with the one and only Hot Sushi Yamada. Ran the trails, biked the beach, caught a few fish with Savannah Canoe and Kayak, and watched the crew enjoy a scrumptious meal, without me, at the distillery in downtown Savannah. But now I'm back to explore a lesser-known but equally amazing part of the Savannah region. Known as the Moon River District, a phrase coined by the late great singer-songwriter Johnny Mercer, this marsh-filled region framed by the pristine barrier islands of Skidaway and Ossabaw offers numerous shoreline adventures. We begin this excursion with Mike Neal of Moon River Kayak, a man whose love and appreciation for this Moon River District is evident as soon as your boat hits the brackish water. You have that great downtown historic district. You're close to it, but then you're a world away right here.
Exactly. Within 15 minutes and you're out here and you're in a different world. Nature and history really combine, and this is one of those places that it really is featured on Moon River Kayak tours. That's one of the things we do, is we explore that nature and history.
Let's talk about Skidaway and Ossabaw. Many people don't know the names of these islands, but there's a reason for that.
These islands are all basically kind of wild islands, and that only of the 13 barrier islands in coastal Georgia, only 3 can we drive to. The only way that you can get to these islands is by either kayaking or boats. This marsh we have here, we have over 400,000 acres of marsh in coastal Georgia.
Wow.
And with that, 75% of our seafood is nurseryed in those marshes. So it just makes it so vital. You can go out there and go shrimping or crabbing right now and enjoy some of the same bounties of the waters that they did back, 100 years ago. Our journey started with some serious paddling to churn through the strong Moon River current to get our eventual peaceful throughway. An amazingly tranquil trail of water that splits right through the center of the nature-filled Skidaway Island.
I haven't been into this creek since the hurricanes. I don't know if we have any trees down or we're just doing a little exploring.
That makes it fun, right?
Yeah, that's what life is all about. Exploring waterways and paths not normally taken, and usually you get rewarded.
I heard the hurricane brought a great white back here.
You never know.
You never know.
We have great whites right offshore from coast of Georgia.
Wow. Hey Mike, is this your challenge?
How low can you go?
Limbo. Oh, my nose. Oh yeah. Made it. Not many people can do that. But in this show, even in times of peace, a kayaking challenge was in the back of Mike's mind.
Maybe we'll do a little race or something like that.
There you go.
And see, I'm an old guy. You should be able to beat me pretty easily, so we'll see how
Yeah, we'll see about that.
down.
Yeah, I'm dressed all tough here in my camo.
Yeah,
We'll see.
I know. Look at that.
Yeah, all right. So with nothing but a few deer and wild pigs as witnesses, other than the crew, of course, Mike and I revved our engines, and we were on our mark. 1.
Looks like, oh
yeah!
yes, he is
I finally won
victorious.
something! But I'm always suspicious of you being kind. Bring it, crew! I know your favorite part was the race. They don't do that all the time here.
No,
It was
no.
a little extra we did, but
Yeah.
that was a blast. I mean, you had that quarter boat lead the whole way. Magically, I got ahead at the end.
Yeah.
The crew is disputing this one. Shenanigans! Yeah, well, Mike, that was a blast. It was beautiful. This is what I call a fun, relaxing day out in the marshes here. It almost felt like an undiscovered river we were going back into.
I know. That's what really makes this area so beautiful, is that we have so many little pockets of beauty and so close to everything. You can spend not only one day, but several days out in this area. So So when you come to Savannah, don't forget the Moon River District.
Absolutely. I love it here. We're going to keep exploring, buddy.
All right, thanks, man.
Oh, I've been walking, eyes open wide, and I've been looking at the brighter side. Traveled through the mountains, been to the sea. I've seen the city lights, and I believe life's pretty sweet, pretty sweet, pretty sweet. Like a Georgia peach, my Georgia peach. Life's pretty sweet.
Back to the marshes of Savannah's Moon River District, and after beginning to explore a region of the eastern seaboard that has been tremendously preserved, I was inspired to find out more about where I was and discovered the one-of-a-kind Pinpoint Museum located just inland of Skidaway Island. Meet Gail and Hannah, lifelong residents of historic Pinpoint, Georgia, a small town founded immediately after the Civil War by freed slaves, and where the beautiful Gullah language and the Gullah Geechee way of life is still a presence.
My great-great-grandfather led a group of families from Ossabaw Island, which is the third largest island on the coast of Georgia, around 1897, and settled this community, what we call home, or Pinpoint today.
This building that is now home to the museum was once the Varn & Sons oyster canning factory. Hannah, Gail, and the team of Pinpoint have put their heart and soul into this museum to help preserve and present this way of life.
This museum is open to the public, and what we want people to leave with is the enslaved people did have an impact on American history. Our foreparents were more than slaves. You know, they were geniuses, and a lot of our early inventions came out of that experience.
And there are some people that came out of this community that we may have heard of today.
Nickname was Boy. Well, we're talking about Supreme Court Judge Clarence Thomas. We're proud of our native son reaching one of the highest levels that you can achieve in the U.S. Supreme Court Justice.
So after a little history with Hannah, it was time to meet Gail.
These were people that were freed men and women who had a vision, a revelation to buy property which represent freedom. And to own property in Pinpoint, especially someone like me who still lives on the property that my great-great-grandfather purchased, is so meaningful to me because this was a man with little to no education, but yet he had a revelation. He had the faith to believe that God wanted us to be placed here.
And you see, Gail knew what the excursion was all about. So, time for this man of Polish descent to be schooled in the language and lifestyle of the Gullah Geechee.
Now, Gullah is a mixture of the African dialect as well as English and Creole.
Creole?
Creole,
I didn't know that.
absolutely,
okay.
Yes. So when I say churn, what do you think I'm saying?
Churn, butter, churn.
You would think so. I'm going to say it in a sentence. Them churn like to go to school.
Children.
Children.
Churn. Okay. Churn.
Una.
One.
In Spanish, not Gullah. Okay?
See, I'm doing fantastic, right? Okay.
How are Una doing?
You.
You. From my generation on up, most of us still continue to speak Gullah. The younger generation, not as much. But one of the things we are doing in our community is creating a Gullah Geechee language book so it won't be a dying language.
Right, absolutely. It's fun.
Yeah.
It has a cadence. I don't know if that's a pass or fail. This is a bonus challenge.
You did great. You did great. You did a great job. You did.
I didn't pass? Okay, well, then we won't
I'm trying to help you out.
It's not the teacher's fault.
I know,
She's
right?
wonderful.
Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty, so now we're gonna do a little bit of shouting.
Okay.
Are you ready for the challenge?
Oh yeah, I can do that.
Okay, now shouting is done in two forms. When we do it in a religious form, we believe that the Holy Spirit has entered the body We don't touch that at all. That is in the church. When we do it in our homes, and they would do it every Christmas. Shouting, you can do with your feet and your hand or the back of a mop or a broom handle on the floor. This is Gullah Geechee.
Okay.
And all those proper words you use, throw them out the window. When I say po, I don't want to hear pour.
Po.
When I say shree, I don't want to hear tree. Po, Miss Minnie, look what Una done.
Oh, Miss Minnie, look up in the down. I had it. That was perfect. That was perfect. I didn't say. It was in key.
I said, what Una done?
What Una done?
Yeah.
What did I say?
I don't know what the hell you said, but I know it wasn't what I said. Po, Miss Minnie, look what Una done.
Oh, Miss Minnie, look up Una done.
Run fast, Miss Minnie, here they come.
Come fast, Miss Minnie, here they come.
Po, Miss Minnie, tie Una 2, 3.
Oh, Miss Minnie, tie Una to 3. I said pour. Po. I thought I was doing fantastic.
Oh, and then,
I'm from the South, but I'm not from here.
not from Pinpoint.
Yeah, I'm from Pinpoint. I'm working on it, though.
You're working on it. Keep
Yeah.
working, keep
It was,
working. But you do have rhythm, so you get a beat. You do have rhythm.
A beat. All right.
You get a beat, yeah.
You're that crew? I got a beat.
Yeah, he has a beat. Just don't know what the heck he was talking about, but he got the rhythm.
I thought I sounded fantastic, but Gail and the crew thought otherwise, so instead of failure, I opted for the Pinpoint Physical Challenge. This community survived by living off the land, so Gail challenged me to catch a fiddler crab in the marsh. Think Rocky Balboa chasing a chicken with a twist.
You got it, first female fiddler crab, yes! Look at that.
Now, how do you say crab in Gola? Oh, pinching me.
Crab.
Crab.
Yeah. There's no
Well, that's
special-
boring.
I know, it's no special word. I want to see how good you realize. That was an easy catch, okay?
Yeah.
You're not going to get by that easily. Now, you're going to go into the marsh.
Okay, I gotta be stealth here. Y'all don't have gators here, right?
No gators.
Okay, good.
We have water moccasins and eels.
What? What am I doing here?
I know. There's a couple of small ones.
That's a male.
Did you get it?
I don't know if it's a male or female. I got something.
What do you have?
It's a male.
It's a male. It's a male. He got a male. Yes.
Come
yes.
here.
Yes. Look at that. A male. Now, what's the difference between the male and the female, though?
The male has this super claw right here, and I'm gonna see if he can pinch me with it. I don't know. That's the Polish in me coming out.
Yeah.
Ah, there it is.
Yeah,
All
hold
right.
it up. Look at that.
Gail, challenge completed, but most of all, I've got a good sense of this Moon River District Pinpoint. It's beautiful. Gail then showed me how to knit a crab net and inspired me to aim to live off the marshes on my own. So I swung by Bandy's bait shop located on the banks of the Moon River for some live shrimp and aimed to succeed in a little Moon River angling. Live shrimp here under the Diamond Causeway on the Moon River. I can still see the Pinpoint Museum off in the distance. Woo! Fish on. The skunk has ended, whiting on the Moon River. Pretty fish here. Of course, the guy behind me's caught about 50, but hey, who's counting? 8-inch fish, make it 12. And we're going back in the Moon River. Got something on here. Crab, blue crab. Hang on there, buddy. Blue crab, folks. Okay, now if I have them hooked, we're in business. Oh yeah, hang on, hang on. Hang on. Oh! Darn it, that counts. That counts. If I just lifted him over, thank you, blue crab. Yeah. Ah, he might be a step up from the last one. Got a little more color to him. All right, buddy. Tell your friends we're coming. On another blue crab. Challenge. Catch a blue crab. Oh, he's hanging on. Get him on, get him on, get him on. No! So we caught 3 blue crabs, 3 whiting, Couple fiddler crabs at Pinpoint. Had a great kayaking challenge with Mike Neal. This excursion's going quite well, crew. Cohen's retreat could be mine.
I've been walking, eyes open wide, and I've been looking at the brighter side. Traveled through the mountains, been to the sea. I've seen the city lights, and I believe life's pretty sweet, pretty sweet, pretty sweet. Like a Georgia peach, my Georgia peach. Life's pretty sweet.
Exploring the Moon River marshes and delving into the area's rich history and heritage by attempting to speak it and live it.
No.
This Savannah Moon River District excursion is off to a great start, but there's still so much more to see. Let's head towards the backside of Ossabaw Island along the banks of the healthy Ogeechee River, where Cindy and Megan of Sup It and See, along with their team and closest companions, await. We're right here in this beautiful Moon River District. Sup It and See, how did it begin?
A yoga class on paddleboards, and we fell in love with it.
So the two kind of combined, but then you realize you have this beautiful water out here. A little choppy today, a little windy, but we're gonna make it happen.
This area, Richmond Hill, their whole backyard is water. There's a million ways to get in the water around here, and when you see it from the other side, when it's quiet, it's just amazing and beautiful here.
It's calm, it's something different to do in their backyard. Everybody's used to boats. Why not try stand-up paddleboarding? You can stand up, you can get out of your boat, and it's just peaceful and a different way to view your own backyard.
Now, there is something else that you all have that I have never seen before, and everyone I mention it to has never seen it. It is a 6-person monster paddleboard, SUP.
It can be a little more than 6 people. It's a limit of 1,000 pounds.
So we got to get out there on the 6-person paddleboard.
Yep.
We need to make it to the sandbar and somehow use these inflatable animals to get there.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of challenges here, and I'm sure you'll come up with some along the way as well.
I certainly will.
We're good at winging it.
Big day, Sup It and See. Let's do this.
All right, let's go.
Tell me about the places where you can launch from.
Well, we can go anywhere you can get in the water and get private docks, community docks, boat ramps. But our favorite is right down the road here is Fishtails Marina and Restaurant. Butch and Sherry have owned it over the years. They've been so supportive of us. It's a great place to take people out. We can hit up the sandbar, come back. You can have a great dinner on the water. It's just a really nice place to be. We made it!
Yeah, we all did it. We are on a sandbar on the Ogeechee. Just an hour ago, this wasn't even here. Sup It and See got me to my own little sandbar island. Pretty phenomenal. Only rising for a few hours every day because of the tide changes, it was a perfect stage. Such an escape from the norm, and amazingly, right after we arrived, the water calmed just enough to begin the inflatable animal head-to-head challenge.
Your challenge, should you choose to accept it, is to race one of these amazing inflatable stand-up paddleboard animals around the buoy and back.
And I bravely opted for the powerful pink flamingo. The race started with a bang. Amanda on the unicorn shot like a rocket, but faltered. I in turn lost my balance and was stuck on my back like a turtle. But I quickly regained form and paddled for the turn buoy. Amanda was down for the count, but Amber then jumped aboard the unicorn and started to take charge. Feeling defeated, I did what I had to do to bring Flamingo the gold. I had to step it up with the Flamingo. Pass right at the end, win.
Of course, you chose the smaller bird.
Yeah.
So your challenge was a little less.
heck of a competitor right there, I'll tell you that much right there. Woo. On to the next challenge.
This is Sarah Matonis, our yoga instructor. She does sup yoga.
Now, yoga and flexibility have never been my thing, but challenge number 3, happening on a 6-man paddleboard, gave me confidence to torque my body in ways that didn't seem natural. But so far, success.
Well, he cheated. Of course you did. You know, you had 2 people holding your board so you could do yoga.
I had no clue you were holding my board.
No clue. Nothing. Yeah. Blind.
But we did a headstand. That was you.
Did the double headstands, yes.
Right. So I have no idea what's going to happen. The challenges were completed. Whether it's successful or not, whether I get Cohen's retreat.
I think it's 50-50. All 3 should go. Oh.
You guys hungry? All right.
All right.
Fred?
Yep.
Bye-bye, Island.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Bye, Sandbar. Till next time.
Till next time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I've been walking, eyes open wide, and I've been looking at the brighter side. Traveled through the mountains, been to the sea. I've seen the city lights, and I believe life's pretty sweet, pretty sweet, pretty sweet. Like a Georgia peach, my Georgia peach. Life's pretty sweet.
This amazing week in Savannah's Moon River District had to be capped with an evening of class and delectable cuisine. So off to a place known as Cohen's Retreat, where yet again rich history and modern amenities combine for a one-of-a-kind experience. Meet Louis, a man, concierge, server, historian, all rolled into one, who embodies the spirit of this historic retreat.
Cohen's Retreat gets its name from Percival Randolph Cohen, who was the CEO of the Savannah Compress Company. He wanted a place where men wouldn't die old and alone. Cohen's Retreat predates the Medicare system, hospice care. This wasn't grandfathered in with the Medicaid, Medicare system.
So then, 2011, things started to change and turn
yes,
around.
Mrs. Colleen Smith and Dr. Sidney Smith purchased the property, and they turned it into a destination, restaurant, banquet rooms, and we have retail shops. They didn't want to be in the restaurant business. They wanted to lease out their banquet room. They wanted to lease out the kitchen and the dining room to a chef. They wanted to open the retail shop so that they could support local artists.
And it is called Cohen's Retreat, so it's a dining retreat. But if people wanted to stay the evening, there are some options as well.
There are cottages we have out back. There's 16 cottages. Some of them are long-term rentals, some of them are short-term rentals.
I've never seen a place like this, honestly.
To me, it's special because it has an old feel. It's part of why I moved back to Savannah. It feels nostalgic. It takes you to a time where it was, I guess, an easier life. I don't know if it was an easier life or more simple life, and that's what we try to make it here. We want them to make good memories here.
The Moon River District, when you look at these marshes and you're at Pinpoint looking out into the water, it is closer to that, what you called simple life.
You'll come back this evening and we'll put on some Ella Fitzgerald and some Louis Armstrong, and we may go even to the Johnny Mercer, and you feel like you've been transported back to that time. That's why I love it.
And that's why I believe this is the reward of this show. Whether or not I get it, I don't know yet.
I hope you do. I hope you do.
Okay, so there were some legitimacy issues with my yoga challenge, but folks, we are at Cohen's Retreat where art, food, and community converge. So, in this instance, to end the Moon River excursion, the crew and I will end this beautiful evening together at Cohen's Retreat. So, let our evening begin as the show comes to a close. So the crew and I did converge as advertised here at Cohen's Retreat. Because once we saw the menu boasting pimento cheese hush puppies, fried green tomatoes, duck pot pie, perfectly smoked ribs, and of course the sweet tea brine fried chicken, best of all time by the way, we had to all cheers Lewis, Marty, and the wonderful crew of Cohen's Retreat for a perfect ending to an incredible week in Savannah's Moon River District. Excursion complete. See you next time.